So you're not going to get married, more than likely.
If I did, it'd be an accident.
But you said
If
something.
that's possible.
Yeah, but you said something else that I thought was interesting. You said that and because I've talked with a lot of men and they were like, I'll never get married again because of what the state does. I would like to be involved in a relationship. I would love to have more kids. I would love to have a wife.
Sure. Yeah.
But the state, well, for example, in the state of Texas, there's no legal protection of marriage. When one person can file for divorce for any reason, for no reason, can make up a reason, and you stand to lose everything that you worked for your entire life, it's a bad gamble. And basically what it comes down to, it's not just playing Russian roulette. It's playing Russian roulette with at least 2 chambers loaded. And who's going to play that game? I said I know women that this has happened to as well. It happens to both genders. Whoever has the most money, they can, be.
Sure.
But the issue is that sometimes I've seen some women basically like, they're really happy for this. Of course he should be paying us a put up. Of course it should be happening like this. Knowing full well that they've lied about him and they have a son. What do they expect is going to happen to that son in 12, 15 years? And there was one lady, very strong feminist, always supporting all these women, things like that. And then her son was falsely accused of rape at a college. I think he was kicked out of college and everything, and now she's horrified. But that's what she had been defending all of these years until it happened to her son. Mm-hmm. And that's what gets me, is that many of the people that are so for this let it happen to their children. I don't want to see it happen to anybody. But once it happens to them, maybe things will change. But anyway, like I said, I've got a wonderful wife, and but you are exactly right about afterwards. I was at the place that I thought, I'll never be with another woman again.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's,
But I softened real fast. But
yeah.
Anyway.
It's been some years now.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Here I stand.
But now the other thing is looking at your parents. So they've got how many grandchildren?
6.
Okay, so they've got other ones as well.
All boys.
All boys. For you, they have 1. Is that correct? They've got
Just
the one.
1. My brother has 5.
Okay. But had it not been for your brother, I mean, your grandparents are even be affected, or your parents will be affected, because they would love to be grandparents to, I'm sure, more than 1 grandchild. And they are right now.
Yeah. All they can get.
Yeah, yeah. But when you look at divorce court and what takes place, grandparents should be up in arms too.
Sure.
Because not only are they losing out on relationships, but again, and the big reason I'm fighting a lot of these things, Greg, is that there's certain things that will not change in our lives, but I do not want to see this around for my grandchildren.
Well, and my parents were up in arms. This was
Yeah.
paid for by them. They took out a loan against their property that was paid off
Yeah,
and financed it.
well,
And I'm paying that debt
yeah,
myself,
yeah,
barely.
yeah. I just spoke with another guy last night, not 2 nights ago, and he drove me by his house. He said, this house was my house, completely paid off. The judge ordered me to sell it because of divorce, to pay off all the attorneys, and
Hers and his.
I think it was hers and his, but I'm not positive on that. I know of somebody else who was ordered to pay hers and his as well. And basically, all of the money he had saved up in the college fund for his girls went down to 0. But he said, this was my house. These are the these are the things I put in. And the judge ordered me to sell it and told me that if I did not sell it, I would be found in contempt of court and be fined another $1,000. So these judges in family courts, they're tyrannical. I used to be a missionary in Jordan, and I saw families that came over from Iraq to Jordan to find refuge. And they talked about the brutality of Saddam Hussein. And they talked about how one day their husband or their father would go missing, and what Saddam would do, he would go after the boys because he needed the boys to grow up to be men. So you had women coming into Jordan with their kids because they knew if their husband was gone, their sons were next. And but the family courts, that's really just the way that they are in the state of Texas, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not always quite that brutal, but sometimes more brutal.
Well, brutality in the United States is more subtle.
Mm-hmm. Explain
It's
to me.
always hidden in the shadows.
Yeah, with a government stamp of approval,
That's right.
and the legislators who,
We're just as brutal as anyone else.
yeah,
We're just proper about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Just imagine all these atrocities and all these false accusations and the improper treatment of innocent people. And we will pay for our.
well, I think what's happening with these, everybody's talking about the mass shootings. Dr. Warren Farrell says, hurt boys hurt us. And you have boys growing up without their fathers because in the majority of cases, the father is excluded or relegated to visitor status in their lives. And even though the girls hurt as well, and both kids hurt if their mother's gone too, but most of the time in Texas, I think it's 85% of the time or more, the mothers are the custodial parent, and a girl is the same gender as the mother. They have some commonality there. But the boy, when he transitions to a man, or as he's transitioning to a man, and his father is out of his life, or some stranger father comes in, or the attorney general acts as father by saying, well, we're going to collect money and that's how we're going to take care of these kids. And yet the father who gave birth to him, the father who many times wants to be there but is forbidden from being there because of our laws, they're destroying our kids. And what's happening at this point, society is paying the price. In fact, society is also paying the price because if you look at what happens with divorce, you have a lot of things like Section 8 housing, you have welfare, you have things called prisons because children of divorce are more likely to end up in prison. You have the whole economy about drug selling because children of divorce are more likely to be addicted to drugs, go into gangs, become alcoholics. Girls are more likely to become pregnant outside of wedlock. All of these societal costs, society is paying for this stuff right now, but now they're starting to pay for it more and more with their own blood. And when are we going to start to say something? When are we going to make the protest to the governor that you've got to stop this system? Or to our legislator? And when are we going to hold them accountable for this stuff? And in your case, what happened to you? They basically, how did you say it exactly?
They court-ordered my sexual abuse.
They court-ordered your sexual abuse.